DOC, like we talked about earlier, until 1989. So that's really when this vineyard area came into play, called Priorat, which is this, it's basically the red dot. That red dot there is Priorat. So it's a small area, probably more striking as far as the vineyards are concerned because it's very steep. This is kind of driving into it, and then you keep getting closer, and you'll start to see the vineyards on the side here. This is this little village of Priorat, which is where we're headed. This is kind of in the heart of Priorat. Get a little bit closer here, and then finally you get up here and you can see this is what your harvest area looks like. So you can't get any machines out here. You basically risk your life to go harvest grapes, is what you do. As if you slip, just like in the Mosel or in the Wachau in Austria, if you slip, you could end up 500 meters down in the road at that point. You know. So that's part of why this is an expensive area. This is an expensive area to buy wine in general. Part of it is the labor, but part of it is because there's so little juice to come out of here, and top winemakers making the wine, everything tends to drive the prices up here. This is a wonderful couple here in Priorat. Gerard Padleval and his wife Fanny, who there's I'm trying to remember what it was on the web. I saw people that take these tours of wineries that just start to set it up on their own. They mentioned them because they were the most helpful in getting them into all these places while they were there. This is also probably the tiniest winery in Spain. It's not bigger than this room, actually. So this is a common story in Priorat, the young guy who goes out and travels around the world and then comes back and realizes he wants to raise his family's winery and indigenous grapes in the area. So what they do with this wine called Les Eres, and the winery itself is called Joan Simo. That's how they say John in Catalan. It looks like Joan, but it's Joan Simo, which only makes two wines. Entry wine called Les Sentias, and this is their top wine called Les Eres. Most Priorats are blends. The indigenous grapes that they're based upon are Garnacha, that we talked about earlier, Carignan, and Garnacha. Then you started seeing the progressive blending of Cabernet, Merlot, Syrah, and these other grapes in here. This one is actually about 45% of 95-year-old Carignan vines, another 30% of 80-year-old Garnacha vines, and then 25% of about 30-year-old or 25-year-old Cabernet Sauvignon vines. You then age this in new French Allier oak for about 18 months. But the thing that makes the difference really in Priorat is the soil. In particular, there's a blue slate that they call licorella, and that's what gives it this slaty mineral character that underlies the entire wine. So you get these spicy, almost pruny type of grapes, and then this slaty mineral undertone going on. A very, very cool area, and actually, this is probably better now that it's been sitting in the glass, because this is an easy one once you get into it to just keep drinking the bottle. And I think we're at least 14.6 is what they're listing as the alcohol in here, which means it's probably 15 on this bottle. But this has also been an area fueled by auction markets, and it's like I mentioned, it's an expensive place in general to buy wine. But
because of the danger in harvesting?
It's part of that, but it even has more to do with how little bit of wine they can get out of there for having a winemaker, paying for barrels, all that kind of stuff. That very limited amount tends to drive the price up, and there are some superstar wineries here that have gotten huge scores and do huge numbers of auctions. No, this one is so small that they're starting to get recognized. The one who really has the most recognition right now, I would say, is Alvaro Palacios. Palacios, who made his monumental wine called L'Ermita, which generally goes for about $700. He's been one of the first five that kind of got this area going. This is a much smaller winery that's just starting to be recognized. And good chorizo wine. There are only 300 six-packs of this wine that get made, or 300 cases. So they only make two wines. One wine they make 500 cases, the other one make 300, which is nothing. Budweiser probably makes that in like 2 minutes. Oh, there they are again. That was from Sterling. Yeah, Sterling sent me his whole batch of photos. And I was going there, and I know there were a couple pictures there that were part of it. But I think we were at Close Lobach right there when we took that picture.
Yeah.
This was actually at the original Priorat winery called Costas Sirana, famous vineyard called Close de Lobach, where all of those famous winemakers actually started. It was at this wine.